Hey guys, it's Kelly and welcome back to my channel. Today I am so excited because we have a car that is very near and dear to my heart, and that is a Nissan Rogue. Fun fact about the car mom, the Nissan Rogue was my very first ever mom car. It is the car I brought my first child home from in the hospital and drove it for several months after he was born. And I love this car. I think this is such a great 5-passenger car, and it was refreshed for 2024. So let's get into what's new, what's great, and just how family friendly this thing is. If this is your first time joining me, hey, I'm Kelly and I'm the car mom. I review cars for moms and for families. I'm a mom of 3, expecting number 4, and I'm a child passenger safety tech. All right, let's get started. Okay, so this Rogue behind me is the SL trim and has a MSRP of about $39,000, which is a little pricey for a 5-passenger car, but I guess that's just kind of where we're at in this market. Okay, aside from that though, you guys, let's take a look at this front fascia. Refreshed for 2024. When the Rogue got redesigned in 21, I thought it was iconic. I loved it. I thought it felt so elevated. This gives it just a little bit more of an aggressive look, a little sportier, and I think it looks amazing. If we move along to her side profile, on this SL trim, we have 19-inch two-toned wheels, look stunning. This pearl iridescent color, this color has been around, or a version of this has been around with Nissan for forever, and I love it. It's such a gorgeous color. Okay, moving along back here, we've got kind of a lot of different elements going on. Some blacked out fenders, some black around the trim, but look at how they kept all of this light up here, kind of making the car look a little bit taller. It's like makeup 101. It's like a highlighter kind of. It looks great. Okay, and then moving around to the back, and we have our wraparound taillights and then our Rogue badging. I'm loving this like matte gray that we're seeing. It's just a little bit different than black and chrome. I think it looks great. I mean, overall, the exterior refresh is minor, which is a few little different accents here and there, but let's get into the interior because this infotainment system is amazing. Okay, before we get to all of this, let's start with our door panel, okay? They're keeping it super simple. We have a little bit of a side cubby, and I only have my leftover soda from lunch with me. And okay, I guess that fits great. A little contrast stitching here. Look at this kind of like, it's not even like a wood grain, it's just kind of like a textured black plastic. Completely new infotainment system. I'm obsessed. 12.3-inch display here, 12.3-inch display here. Okay, I love when infotainment systems have kind of like a customizable display up here so you can have multiple information all at once. We've got built-in navigation, all of our music, Bluetooth, and it also has Google. And typically, I am not a very big fan of like any sort of like built-in like assistant or like, let me talk to you. This is actually working. I actually think, and maybe it's just because the technology has finally caught up, but this thing is able to pick up my voice. It's very responsive. It's very fast. Like I don't feel like there's a big lag time. I'll show you a couple of examples. Hey Google, take me to Target.
All right, there's a Target 1.6 miles away. Want to navigate there?
Yes.
Sure, Target 1.6 miles away.
I mean, that's really nice. I feel like that's super responsive. Here's some other examples of some commands. Hey Google, turn the air down.
Got it. Turning down the fan speed for the front by 1.
Ready for this one? Hey Google, tell me a joke.
What's the difference between a guitar and a fish? You can tune a guitar, but you can't tune a fish.
Can't tune a fish. Oh, tune a fish. Okay, I am appreciating that Nissan is still keeping all of our climate control pulled out, actual buttons, very easy to use. I love a knob, can turn it up and down so quickly. Heated seats and heated steering wheel on this SL trim, as well as a wireless charger. And if you don't want to be using Google, you do still have wireless Apple CarPlay, Android Auto on this trim. 2 USB-Cs, 2 cup holders, auto hold, fine, center console. And I love this, you guys, check this out. A pass-through. Love. We also have a great panoramic sunroof. I mean, she truly is kind of fully loaded. I mean, especially for this not being Nissan's like main luxury 5-passenger. I mean, I would expect all of this in like the Murano and the Pathfinder, but to find all of this tech in these big of screens in the Rogue, I don't know, it feels pretty good. Okay, so that's kind of wrapping up here. Let's get to the second row because there's kind of a lot to talk about, and then we'll get into trunk space. All right, let's break down the car seat setup in the Nissan Rogue. So This is the Britax Poplar seat. It's one of my favorite new car seats on the market. We can leave a link in the description below. I like it because it has a lot of different reclines for rear facing, but it can be very compact front to back. So take a look at this, for example. I have this seat set for myself, a pretty tall driver. I'm about 6 feet. Inches, you guys. Inches of clearance. In a small-ish 5-passenger car, this is an example of the space being used very well. As far as the car seat hardware is concerned, it's a little interesting, a little different. We have 3 tether anchors across the back, which is standard. However, we have an extra lower anchor in the middle seat. So typically I like lower anchors to come in pairs because if you're installing a car seat with lower anchors, you need 2 of them. But what this extra lower anchor in the middle does is it would allow you to install a car seat in the middle seat with latch. So it's not really like, it's not that this car can fit more car seats or that it's better for car seats. It just gives families the option to put a car seat here with latch. But do note, if you do decide to do that, it would completely eliminate this seat. So you might be thinking like, well, Kelly, why would a family ever want to do that? Well, like I said, this was the first car I brought my son home in the hospital in, and I felt like he would be a little safer in the middle seat installed with latch. So that's what we did, and then I sat on this side, and we didn't need this side because, you know, there was only the 3 of us. Okay, the Nissan Rogue has some other like kind of shining gems back here though, okay? First of all, look at this. I mean, not that you should be surprised because I showed you how good the car seat clearance is, but like this is awesome. I'm like straight legging it over here. I'm feeling good. And as far as my amenities are concerned, for a 5-passenger car, they are kind of smacking. Ceiling vents, or not ceiling vents, vents in the back of the center console. They're not on the ceiling, but that's fine. Plus I have my own climate control and 2 USB-Cs down there. This is awesome though, sunshades. I can literally count on one hand how many 5-passenger cars have sunshades, and one of them is a Land Rover. So the fact that I am seeing that in a Nissan Rogue, I'm obsessed. You know who can't even have sunshades? The Ford Expedition, the Chevy Tahoe. Oh, Rogue can. Come on, that's amazing. Look at this, giant. I could fit a Stanley in there for sure in the second row. And these may seem like super minor features, but I'm telling you, as a mom, these are things that I would use every single day and that I did use every single day. You also know what's so fun about 5-passenger cars? The trunk space. Like a mid-size 3-row could never. Look at this. Giant Mockingbird stroller. Barely, just threw it in there. Didn't even like try to take the seat off or anything. Fits perfectly. Let me take this out. Look at all of this great trunk space. And this is why a car like this for a family of 4, I think is actually sometimes a better option than your 3-row SUV because you just have more trunk space. If we were to have the 3rd row here, let's be honest, we'd always be throwing it, we'd always be laying it flat, and then you're just having seats you're not using and you don't have enough trunk space. Love. Oh yeah. A little bit of extra here. This is also doubles as your cargo cover. So if you wanted to like put your cargo cover in and protect your belongings, you could do that as well. And then power tailgate. All right, guys, so that's going to wrap up this 2024 Nissan Rogue tour. If you can't tell, I do really like this car, and I think it offers a really good option for families who are looking for a smaller SUV. We didn't even talk about gas mileage, but one of the benefits of driving a smaller car like this is how much more fuel efficient it is. You're talking up to 36 miles per gallon on the highway for an average of 32 miles per gallon combined, and that's pretty darn good. So anyway, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.